Good morning, Village of Hopkins. My name is John Vanderwall. I'm currently serving as the president of the Village of Hopkins Council. And I wanted to come to you with some information about the floodplain thing that has has been enacted in the village, and just try to answer a few questions that I've been hearing. Of course, I'm just trying to give some information. I'm not offering legal advice. I'm not offering any sort of advice on how to deal with your mortgage company, but do want to offer some clarifications for you, and that you can maybe even bring to them as you are interacting with your mortgage company if you are now in the floodplain, and so on and so forth. So let me just start by saying over the last several years, the government, the federal government and the state government have been working on updates to their floodplain mapping. And why they're doing this and all of that is another conversation altogether, and not one that I'm able to have, because it is far and above anything that we are able to do or handle in the village. But what we do know is that in the updates, a good portion of the Village of Hopkins was designated as part of a floodplain. And I know a lot of people have asked about, well, what about the berm? We put this berm in with floodplain mitigation and all that stuff. Yes, we did do that. No, apparently it is not enough, supposedly, although we've tried as a village, before I was president, before I was on a council, trying to tell the state, tell the government, hey, we've done some work on this, you need to reevaluate. Apparently that wasn't enough, and yada, yada, yada. So anyways, this was far and above anything that the village and the village council has done or enacted. What we've had to do is kind of keep track of this, and we took steps to participate in some of the floodplain insurance programs that they have going on, but more on that in a moment. Anyways, the village, part of the village, is in this floodplain zone, and there are some maps that you can access. I'm going to share a screen with you a second of our village website here, and just show you. So this is the village website. If you haven't ever been here before, I would highly recommend going. There's a lot of good information. We've been trying to get it up to date, and you can go and you can read through the minutes and the charter and ordinances and things like that. But under the resources tab here, if it will load, go internet. Okay. Under the resources tab, you can see there's a couple of things. Senior citizen sewer rates. If you're over the age of 65, this is a really good thing for you. Rentals for the North Park Pavilion and stuff like that. And then down here, floodplain designation information. I just highly recommend checking this out. If you have a mortgage on your house, your mortgage company will likely be contacting you to say, hey, you need to get flood insurance now because you are in a floodplain. You can see if you are in the floodplain here by clicking on the map viewer. I'm not going to do that right now because it's a lot of zooming and whatever else. But you can check and see if your address and your property, particularly your house, is in this floodplain. I know for me, the floodplain actually comes up to my sidewalk, but doesn't come up to my house. And so I don't have to get this. I'm very thankful for that. But I know for a lot of you, that's not the case. And so you can see whether your property, and particularly your residence, is there. And then there's a link here to the flood insurance program website. This has a lot of information, helpful links and stuff like that, places to contact. And then this here, these two things are very important. We passed an ordinance about 2.5 weeks ago now that says that we are participating in the FEMA floodplain designation stuff. And we also passed a resolution to that effect as well. And both of these things are meant to help us participate in the floodplain designation map, whatever stuff, so that the FEMA flood insurance program is active in our community. Now, we passed this a little while ago, like I said, about 2.5 weeks ago. The state has not caught up to this yet, right? The state government is a little bit behind. There was some personnel changeover and stuff like that. We're very thankful for people like Eric Alberta, who have these kind of consistent communications, particularly from the township level, and gives us information. So there was some staffing changes and all that. They're trying to get caught up. When the state gets caught up, then they will send it to the federal government and so on and so forth. But right now, if you are talking to your mortgage company, they say, well, you're not in a participating area. That is not true. We are participating in that. And the goal of participation in the FEMA flood zone plain stuff I don't know the exact terminology, but is that you can get discounted flood insurance for your house. And if you have a mortgage out on your house, which means the bank owns part of your house, right? They are going to require that you have that. And so you can work with your insurance company on that. But it takes a little while for the state to get caught up on the things that we pass and then pass that along to the federal government as well. So be patient, it will get there. A couple of you have also mentioned to me, well, there's a 45-day window. And for people who were in the floodplain before, which would include people in the township, not the village, there is a 45-day window to kind of make adjustments based on the adjustments that the government has made. However, all the parts of the village who are now considered part of the floodplain based on the new maps have a much larger window of time because you're new to the floodplain. And so that there's a bit of a different treatment that's taking place here. But what I would recommend you do is go to the website. You can print that ordinance, you can print that resolution, and you can send it, or you can download it and send it to your mortgage company. Say, we are participating as of the date that's on there. And you can say the state government and the federal government are behind on this. And just have this open communication with your insurance company so that they know you're working on it, and talk to them. Right? I can't control your insurance company. I can't control your insurance dealers and all that. Like I obviously don't have that authority and whatever else. But what I'm telling you is that we as a village council have done our due diligence to make sure that you have what you need to get what you need when it comes to flood insurance, and particularly discounted flood insurance through the FEMA flood insurance program. So I would recommend having these conversations, particularly if you don't own your home completely yet. Have these conversations with your insurance company. I wouldn't be surprised if your mortgage company has already reached out to you, and just know the state is working on this. And it will happen. We've done everything that we need to do. We've sent everything in that we need to send in. So yeah, if you have any more specific questions, of course, you can reach out to me. You can comment on this video. You can reach out to me, president@villageofhopkins.org. You can reach out to our clerk at villageofhopkins.org. There's a lot of information on our website. And we're hoping to release some more videos like this too, just informational stuff. So like the video, subscribe to the channel so that you can get updates as to when we are putting out information. And of course, like I said before, I'm not trying to give you legal advice. I'm not trying to give you any professional advice. I would like to say that I know what I'm doing here, but truly we're learning as we go too. We're doing our best. And it is a privilege to serve the Village of Hopkins. So thanks. I hope this is helpful. And like I said, contact us if you need any information. Our meetings are the second Monday of every month, 7:30. And we'd love to see you there too. Until next time, have a great week.